Do you trust God? Do you trust his righteousness? Do you trust that all things that happen to you can be used by God? Are you growing in maturity, as in James? Or are you the person at church everyone points at and says, don't be that guy? You know, anyone can feel overflowing with God's presence in church. Get to the parking lot, you're screaming at a guy for cutting you off. Or like me, you know, I'd go to church, then I'd go to work afterwards, and then I lust at people coming out from church. Be like, oh wow, that person looks good. Oh, very nice body parts. Oh yeah. But here we are, James 2, I believe, 1 through 4. I didn't write the verse here. Consider it pure joy, my brothers. And I think we should trust this because James is the brother of God here. If anyone would know by the power of example, growing up with Jesus, come on now. Whenever you face trials of many kinds, you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. And I think that's a lot of what we want, or at least I think I lack something. Maybe God gives me the thought in my head, hey, you're actually complete now. You thought you weren't complete, chasing all the glitz and glamour of life, a woman, a job, a this, a that, everything the world tells you is going to complete you. But God tells you here, this completes you. Chase me. Chase my love. Persevere. That's what we do here on the steps. Are we 1, 2, 3 door? That's what they call it. Right? I'm going to stay for the easy parts. But once we get to inventory, once we get to step 4 and some real some searching, some real pain, I'm out of here. I'm taking my will back. God doesn't like me anymore. This is too painful. I don't even know if God liked me in the first place. So I'm God. I'm going to go numb out with something. Maybe a new something because the old something's not working no more. All right. Are we doing the rest? Are we doing 4 through 12? Are we trusting in the pain? Are we trusting in the process? Is my sponsor saying, hey, this is normal? I don't know about that, buddy. I think you're a little insane. You know, and the sponsor is basically just a guy with skin on there, you know. Been through the process. Now he's doing the service. Don't have the iPad today. I decided book. I didn't really think about having to flip a page, though. Especially while I'm standing here. If you're going to be an example, what type of example do you want to be? You'll say, hey, that guy's sober over there. That guy trusts God. I mean, if you're going to feel pain, I think the pain of addiction is just so much worse than the pain. There's promise in this pain. There is. There's the promise of connection with God. The promise of being complete. There's no promise. It's just hopeless in addiction. You just numb out, and then the next day, or maybe even the next freaking 20 minutes, I got to look out to numb out in a different way. It's exhausting. If numbing out and doing my addictions and being God is exhausting, why don't I do something more productive that's also exhausting, but leads somewhere better? To God here, you know? Genesis 5:22. After he became a father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God for 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Is that me? Am I faithful to God for 300 years? Do I have trust in God? Do I trust in his righteousness? Do I have faith? Or do I say, as soon as something bad happens, or I think bad happens here, do I say, oh, God must not be with me. Something bad happened to me. Or is it just another test to grow you spiritually? Did you pray the 3rd step prayer? You know, did you? And now now that the third step prayer is coming true, and you could be of use to God, and you prayed, oh, let me be of use to you, God. Well, maybe God needs to prune you, and that's painful. Maybe God needs to take some things away from you because he knows they're not good for you. Do I trust that? Even if I am the bad example here, as many people were in the Bible, how many people run away from the Bible? Oh, those are freaking big giants in there. We're going to die. Oh, God wants me to go to these people. They're going to kill people. They eat people over there. Jonah ran as far as he could away from God. God still provided for him. He still got eaten by a big fish, spit up on land or whatever happened there. So even if you do run away, guess what? God will leave the one to find the nine. That's not it. God will leave the 99 to find the one every time. And he's still looking for you. Okay? All of it. Every single one. This is one of my favorite verses, and I won't stop saying it. I know it from my head. Everything, all of it, all the shame that you have can be used by God. In Romans 8:28. It will be used by God. As I say that, I forget it. How about that? God uses all things through Christ who strengthens him. All things work together for God's purpose. All things, you see, in that verse there, it says all. It doesn't say only the good things, only the holy things. I'm here as an addict. Nasty things, sinful stuff, lots of porn, many years. And now it's useful to you and to other addicts out there. God uses all this stuff. God changed my shame into purpose, into usefulness. That's what God does. That's the power of God. You know, God didn't give us the spirit of fear. Fear's trying to keep us safe. I need to be in control to feel safe. I know all this ACA stuff. And it was the truth. I needed an illusion of safety to not go insane as a child. But now I'm here in the present moment. And am I taking actions based on fear and acting out and numbing out? Or am I taking actions based on faith? That's what it says in the big book. It says God either is or he isn't. What is my choice to be? And I make that choice every single thought that I have. All right? Am I going to go with my self-will? Is that what I'm going to do? Might not be a great idea. All right? I'm just saying. We got ourselves here. We lost all this stuff. We have divorces and court dates and freaking nice shiny bracelets. You know, we got all this stuff in our own power. What did the freaking prodigal son get himself? Right? He can't. He's willing to eat what the pigs will eat. But what does God give us? Right? If we have that ability to go back to him, he puts us back into our rightful standing as an heir of Christ. He doesn't say, hey, buddy, you've got to earn your way back here. No, he runs towards us and he embraces us because we're his son. He loves us. All right. And God has to give permission to Satan to do anything, okay? If something bad, remember this in Job, okay? In the beginning of Job, Satan comes down and asks God, can I test Job? Does it again, doesn't he? Doesn't Jesus know? Hey, I'm going to test Peter, okay? Let's see how that goes. So knowing this, can we not trust in all things? God has to allow the devil to test you. So, God being righteous, he wouldn't allow something bad to happen to you. He can't. It's impossible. God is righteous. Do we trust that? Or do I trust myself? Let me tell you, trust self. Self's going to get you the same place you always got, which is nowhere you want to be. All right? If we stay in the promise and the solution of step 2, we won't be headed for a problem because we're in the solution. If I step away from the solution, and I'm not the solution's up there in the sky. All right? Wherever the solution is, okay? This is a Christian channel, but whatever you like, okay? Be surprised you made it this far if you weren't a Christian, but hey, God bless you anyways. You know, that's just it. He either is or he isn't. And am I going to take more actions based on a lie? The lie of fear? The lie of anything? We're in the present moment with God. The future is a lie. Anything I can project in my head, anything that I can project that I made everything mean in the past, when I do the freaking fourth step, I get a new perception on what happened in the past. Now this is all useful. I'm not going to beat myself up with shame all day. Right? That's what I like. My sponsor said the other day. He said, it's a constructive it's a constructive thing we do at the end of the night in the 11th step. It's constructive, not destructive. Am I giving myself constructive criticism throughout the day? Am I giving other people constructive criticism, or am I beating them up? Right? I don't have to beat them up. All I got to do is take their example and say, you know, you see somebody falling in the meeting? Don't judge them in your head or outright. Don't beat them up. You can just say, hey, I'll learn from that guy. Nobody comes back into the room and says, hey guys, much better out there. They came back to the rooms because the rooms are where the freaking solution is. All right, nobody says that. One time my sponsor said that did happen. He said, hey guys, it's so much better out there. Come on out with me. And he said, then why'd you come back? All right. He couldn't answer the question. The ego's just freaking telling more lies. Hey guys, I can't stay sober, but it's better out there anyways. Yeah, okay. While you're here. Anyways, I wish you all very well. And I'm here for you. Just, hang out in the chat. We're all getting through this here together. We either stay sober together or we die separately. So I'll just ask you that question. Are you in God today? You having faith in God? Hard to do, you know, but it's good. God is graceful. And where sin abounds, grace that much more abounds. Probably somewhere in John. I don't know where that one comes from. Doesn't care. Google's a freaking magical thing. I wish you all very well, and I send you some of God's love. Have a good one.